Welcome to the Enduro Method podcast. Enduro Method is an online strength and conditioning program built for those who ride by those who ride. We are professional coaches dedicated to building the best and most revolutionary off-the-bike training for dirt bikers around. We are offering a special discount for our podcast listeners. Use discount code EMPodcast22 for 50% off your first month. For more information, head to the description of this podcast where you can find the discount code and a link for more information and to sign up.
Welcome to the Enduro Method podcast. Josh here with Dane.
Hello.
And today we're just going to talk about our favorite trail snacks, when, why, and how, I guess.
'Tis the season for lots of trail riding, lots of big adventures, so we're here to talk about food and snacks in regards to that.
Yeah, not necessarily in any order. For me, at least, they might have different contingencies, but for me, I have, depending on what kind of ride, how long it is, I'll eat different foods. So,
yeah.
Like I said, not necessarily in a particular order. We're just going to kind of go over 5 different things and favorite foods in there and why we like them and when we use them, I guess.
Yeah, just kind of our, favorite trail snacks.
All right, first one, longer ride.
You were going to say, why is this important?
I didn't, I guess I'll do it before. I was thinking at the end. But, so I think just why is what we eat important out on a dirt bike?
Well, it fuels you.
Yeah, but I mean, you could eat like Twinkies and Polos.
Yeah, so basically summer, typically I'm gaining, and then winter I'm
What do you mean by gaining?
Cutting. Well, just in terms of my leanness variance, I feel like I'm definitely more lean in the winter, but I feel like summer is more difficult to follow a plan nutrition wise, there's multiple variables to this, but one I think in the past that I've navigated through is riding these big rides that we do on the weekends. We're riding 2-3 days in a row, and trying to adhere to a diet is tough. Not impossible, but it's harder. And if you're loosey-goosey about it, I feel like it's easy to just throw it all by the wayside and get on the gain train.
Right. So why would it be, why is it important then if you're going, let's say, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 to 8 hours on a bike to have nutrition squared away while you're riding?
Well, not only for your body composition, if that's part of your goals, but also for performance and recovery.
Right. Yeah, so the main way I think about it is, again, it's so I hate to be vague on this, but everybody's so different, right? And everybody has different goals, everybody has a different starting place. But from a consistency standpoint, and if you're trying to get in daily protein to maintain lean muscle mass, and you're trying to keep your energy intake and energy expenditure fairly consistent and equal, right? So you're not gaining or losing weight, you're kind of just maintaining. Having a plan of things to eat while you're out on the trail, knowing that you're also burning a shit ton of calories and energy out there, is just going to help keep more normality in your system and energy levels when you're back off the bike too, which I think we'll touch on as we get there. So the hardest one to maintain for me is protein.
Yeah.
Because
I would even go back a step further where you said you need a plan, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be a plan. It's just putting thought into what you're packing in your bag.
Yeah, that's all I mean.
It's mindfully pack, mindful trail snacks.
Yeah, but just have an idea, and again, that's going to change on the duration and intensity of the ride and what that looks like and everything else. So, for me personally, number one, if we're on a long ride, and I would say that's 4+ hours, I like to have some type of real food, like a sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Josh's number one trail snack is sandwich.
Right, but only for longer rides. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It matters. Because a 2-hour ride, I'm not eating a freaking sandwich.
Right, yeah.
Right, so long days.
And I feel I'm just thinking most of our days that we do in the summer now are pretty long.
No, because I'm out after work hour or two.
I don't do that.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that's why I'm making that point, is because it does matter on how long the ride is. Even if we got a big group, it's only a 3 or 4 hour ride, I'm not going to pack a sandwich. But if I know it's 4+ hours, 5 or 6, 7, 8, extended, definitely want to have some type of food in there. That's like burrito or sandwich or whatever you want.
Okay, so what's in your sandwich there, mister?
I'm easy. Ham, mustard, salami, or bacon.
You don't ever put bacon
I
in
put
your...
bacon in a
No,
sandwich.
you don't.
Yes, I have. Salami or bacon.
Okay, bacon is super rare.
Yeah, more like salami.
But you just threw it out there like you do it all the time.
Done it, and I liked it.
You've done it like
mustard,
maybe once.
And bread.
Okay.
No veggies. I don't like veggies in sandwiches.
Yeah, this is Josh's problem. He doesn't like veggies bugging his burgers and sandwiches. I'm sure there's some people out there that can relate. I can actually relate to that. Yeah, I mean, the best thing about a sandwich is you get your carbs, you get some protein with the ham, a little with the bacon, some with the cheese. Cheese is protein and fat pretty equally
Some animal fats
distributed. Maybe a touch of vinegar in your mustard, but it's not worth anything. But yeah, it's a fairly well balanced.
It's great for riding.
meal.
The problem is it can make you feel a little full.
Mm-hmm. Depending on how big your sandwich is.
Yeah, and how much, maybe eat half, and because that's you don't want to eat like have a brick in your belly. Essentially,
I would also say like we're very mindful of the bread we choose. We're super lucky we have a company here in Teton Valley that makes incredible bread. Very minimal ingredients, all local. I don't think the ingredients are local, but it's locally made. But it's a pretty quote unquote clean bread, if you will. So we're not buying, bread with this bread probably has. If I were to take a guess, I could probably go downstairs and find a label, but I would say at max 6 ingredients. Yeah. So
and neither of us have gluten issues or anything. So.
And neither of us have gluten issues. So that is one thing that I will caveat say that our bread is pretty clean bread. If you don't have something of sorts, my favorite bread that's fairly clean and decent, it doesn't have any of the oils in it, is the Ezekiel bread. They're usually actually in the freezer section. Taste is medium.
Yeah, if you want a cardboard sandwich, you can get Ezekiel bread.
It is a little cardboardy, but it's not. It's fine. You eat it.
Yeah, you can do your own grilled sandwich by putting it on your pipe for 20 seconds per side. Soften it up a little.
But that's a good alternative for if you're in a quick pinch and you don't have the 460 bread.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Great option. No protein. Don't want to say no. Minimal protein. So that'd be the only downside to that. Other than that, I think it's great. And it tastes good. So if it works for you, do it.
Yeah, I was just going to say I kind of frown at the peanut butter and jelly just because of the lack of the protein.
There's a little bit of it in peanut butter, but not a lot.
Yeah. But it depends, if you're a big ride and that's what you need.
Or if that's
something is better than nothing.
Yeah, and again, it gives you that food thing. Because I think everybody's been in that boat where you've eaten bars and gels and waffles and whatever all day.
I want
and
something.
It gets old at some point. All right, so first one would be some type of sandwich or food, real food. I don't want to say whole food. It's kind of a whole food, but it's a bunch of pieces of whole food. Anyways, but that's got some protein in there, carbs and fats. The one I really enjoy, definitely a little bit more spendy if you start looking at the price tag, is the Freshe. I don't know how you say it.
There we go, Freshe.
Tuna packs.
It's in a can.
It's in a can. They're starting to carry them at gas stations too, which is kind of cool. So if
not all, but they are in some.
They're in some, and then most supermarkets have them now. It seems like. Yeah, a little bit more spendy, but I mean, from a health standpoint and ease of use and taste, if you like tuna, they're delicious. I think there's 4 different flavors out there. Macros on them are different. You got to look. You know, there's a couple. Protein's pretty steady, I think, across them, but the carbs and fat change. So it's worth looking at if you're into that. But those are fantastic.
Yeah, really good. And the best thing about the Fresh A is it's not just tuna. It comes with like beans.
Yeah, it's got some beans, some veggies.
Corn. I don't know. There's like a butternut squash one.
Yeah. So those are really good. It seems like there's more options coming out in the tuna world. Like pre-mixed like tuna stuff in a packet too.
Yeah.
That might be a little cheaper. I've seen like tuna creation packets with a mix of stuff, which I've had a couple of those look pretty good too. So that's a great option to get some protein in, some carbs and fats, healthy fats.
And my experience with tuna, I took these tuna sleeves. It's not the can that Josh is referring to. They're a sleeve. I'll link. I can maybe link the brand to the show notes. It was like Sea Safe or something like that. You know, hippie tuna. But they come in really small sleeves. Like I think that Bumblebee Tuna makes them too, but these ones are just, you know, fresh water. Or I don't know what I'm saying. Hippie tuna. But and then I packed those on the grit ride last year, which was they don't take a lot of space. And then I had tortillas, and I think I had a couple of naan breads too. But that was really good because then you got your tuna, your hippie tuna, and your tortilla or naan bread for your carbs, and it just like felt like a meal rather than the gels, gummies, waffles, bars situation that you can really OD on during these long days. Tuna.
Some people do sardines.
Yeah, we have some friends that do sardines or anchovies. I don't even know what other creatures from the sea are in those cans, but really great if you can put them down.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Unfortunately, I've tried multiple times.
I haven't. I just smell it.
Yeah.
Can't handle it.
But it's a really great option if you're into that. Josh and I can't handle it.
No. All right, so next category would be bars. So this would be more like food bars. We're considering this separate from gels and gummies. Okay. So food bars, big fan of Kate's Real Food.
Also a friend. We shout out.
Kate's
Real Food. What, like, I guess we should say why.
They taste good.
I think they're pretty high. They taste good and they're higher in calories. Yep. Versus like a Think Thin bar or something.
Right.
Where, you know, I think all the ingredients are pretty wholesome.
Right.
You know, versus some bars, you know, like the Think Thins, what are those? One bars. A lot of those have a lot of artificial sugar in them. And there's just kind of like, that can almost create more like upset to your stomach rather than like having, and you deserve a Kate's bar.
Well, and to me, so this would fall into that like medium day length category. Mm-hmm. So, or as another thing to eat on really long days.
Yeah.
But if I had a really long day, I wouldn't just pack bars. Mm-hmm. I would want some type of protein and food to help with that. So for this one, like BoBo's, I'm a big fan of BoBo's oat bars. I like those a lot. G2G Bar is a protein bar. We sell them at our gym here, but that's a really good bar for ride as well. So anyways, these would be like medium ride length for me, or a supplementary on super long days. But it wouldn't be, this is all I'm packing on like an 8-hour ride.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. Anything on bars?
No, I mean, I think I'm a big bar fan, so I like RX bars. Those are good. I like the RX bars.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Okay. They all taste the same to me. They have different names on the packages, but they all taste the same.
Oh, there you go. Not sponsored by RX bars.
Anyways, yeah. So bars are great. I would look into who makes them and the ingredient list on the back.
Yeah.
And then go from there. Yep. But Kate's Real Food bars are great. BoBo's, G2G. say those are kind of the main
RX.
ones. RX. Perfect Food bars are great.
Oh, Perfect Food. Yeah, although I read the ingredients and I was like, oh, they got the refined oils in them.
Yeah. Win some, lose some.
Side note.
All right. For me, I've been taking a regular old banana. Mm-hmm. Been pretty cool. So I like that when we have them. This would be number 4.
Just don't land on it.
Done that.
Smushed banana.
Yep.
But yeah, fruit. I was thinking dried fruit or like a trail mix too would be like a good easy snack. The cool thing about like something like trail mix, granted there's not a whole lot of protein in it, but you can, if you stop and everyone, stop at the top of a climb or something and everyone's waiting for everyone, you can easily pop some nuts and trail mix, some whatever trail mix in your mouth pretty quickly, to like get something quick, I guess. And I feel like they're, for me at least, they're pretty gentle on the stomach. Like trail mix is pretty solid. I'm not really ever worried about that. Right. Dried fruit, on the other hand, don't overdo it. I like to overdo it, but it's a good carbohydrate source. That's
and fats. Yeah.
But I was talking about dried fruit.
Oh yeah. Dried fruit.
Good carbohydrate.
Good carbs. Trail mix, fats and carbs.
One thing on the dried fruit I want to make sure to hit is there's dried fruit with sugar in it and there's dried fruit. Dried fruit without the sugar. So when you go to Costco, you get the organic dried mangoes. You don't go for the dried mangoes that look like they're coated with sugar. Preference.
Yeah. Last one, number 5. This is a big grouping of things. I would just put gels, gummies, waffles. This to me is like short ride, quick hits, right? And maybe, of course, you probably have them on longer rides too, but this is not your staple food for long rides. It's not gonna.
Well, it's a staple food for my long rides, intermixed with all of us.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like it's not a standalone.
This is not your only source of nutrition.
Yeah, and go out and do it. See how you feel. But if you're out there for 8 hours only eating gels, gummies, and waffles, you're kind of going to be hating life by the end. Like, you're tired. It doesn't give you any pick-me-up. You want something that's more satiating and real. So they absolutely have their place, and I'm not saying don't use them at all. I use them all the time, and I'll continue to. But this is like short, quick things. And then we're talking trail rides or long days. This is not specific to racing. Yeah. That's a whole different beast. So just bear that in mind.
Well, how do you utilize them, Josh?
When I want one. I tend to keep, I like gummies personally. The gels are great for races. We have a bunch because we got some. So I've been packing them and eating them, but I typically don't buy gels. That's set for races. Gummies I enjoy. I like the texture. I like the chewing aspect. Brings me something out on the trail. I can, have a couple at the top of a hill real quick or not even take my helmet off.
It's like the trail mix situation.
Take some water in with it and kind of stay fueled a little bit that way in between, food breaks or whatever it is. And then waffles, again, we have a bunch, so I just have them in my pack, and I'll eat them when I'm hungry, or if I feel like I need to get something that's a little bit more chewable. But again, waffles for me are kind of I eat them because we have them. I go out of my way to get gummies to have in my pack, not Colorado gummies, regular ones. And then gels, again, kind of save those for race day, or if I just happen to have them.
Yeah. Yeah, so when he's saying gels, he's referring to like a Hammer Goo or who else makes them?
A bunch. Cliff.
They're like
Honey
small,
Stinger.
like small things that are just
they're fantastic. And again, if you're racing and you need that, like the tiniest amount of, you don't want to take up a bunch of carrying space. They're light. They're easy to do and get in your mouth. They're great. Personally, I don't think they should, like if you're again, this would go back to the earlier part of the conversation of what your individual goals are.
Well, ask me about my gels and gummies.
All right, go ahead.
I use that. They are a staple for my trail rides.
What, like every hour? You popping a gel?
Well, I'm a little paranoid of bonking, of running out of energy. So I'd rather be on the gain train a hair than be depleted in any sort of way. So I'm not afraid to pop a gel or a gummy, even if I may not need it. I don't like to run the risk of maybe needing it, you know, especially on the big days. Especially for me, I'm, you know, trying to keep up, and, you know, I don't want to hold anyone back or any of that. So I'm not afraid to pop them. I would say any ride that I go on, I always have. What?
Nothing.
What's so funny?
Go ahead.
Laughing at me. All the rides I go on, I have mostly gummies. We got a bunch of gals. The Hammer Goose at the Donner race, so stocked up on those. And so I now have those in my pouch. But I always have something. I have the Trailbound handlebar pouch, and I always have one or two things in there that are just easy to grab. If I don't forget to refill them too, because you don't want to be out there with no snacks, no trail snacks. That is a bad day. But yeah, I use them frequently. I think I probably eat, like, I would think on a ride I would have probably, okay, let's just do a typical, what do you think? We meet at Trailhead at 10, get done at 4. How many hours is that?
6.
Thank you. So say a 6-hour ride, I would probably have some gummies early on, maybe either a full pack or a half pack. That would get me up to lunch, have lunch, which would be the sandwich or tuna. I also wanted to throw a wrap in there, which I forgot to do. Wraps, side tangent. Wraps are also really great, like in a tortilla. That would be a better way for me personally to sneak some more veggies in there, because when you put it in between 2 slices of bread, I actually don't want veggies in there for whatever reason. But a wrap sounds like more veggie opportunity. You could also get creative with that, like do a chicken salad with something. Spinach, onions or something. I don't know.
Onions.
I don't know.
All right. And don't come to us for wrap recipes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're amateur cooks. Yeah. Right. So I have my lunch, and then maybe after that, maybe another gummy or a gel. I think that would maybe get me there. I'm trying to think what I actually eat. So probably either a gummy, a gel, sandwich, and a waffle would probably be a full days of eating.
For a 6-hour-ish ride.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then in my pack, I just have water, which I think you have that on your list, right?
Yeah, that was a extra thing. But yeah, I mean.
So what would you do on a 6-hour ride?
Probably similar. Like for that, I would like a banana and a sandwich, and then I'd probably have a bar after, so in between. So I'd have like 3 things of food, and then I'd have a gummy in my front pouch. That I wouldn't eat that till probably near the end of more on that backside.
Yeah.
And this would just be a regular ride, because there are other reasons to play with this scenario. But yeah, so 6 hours, probably like the 2 or 3 hour mark. Probably around the 2 hour mark. I'd probably eat a banana. We'd stop for food, usually probably around the 3.5 to 4 hour mark on a 6-hour ride. Yeah. Seems to be how it goes. Around halfway or past halfway is usually where we stop.
Yep, exactly.
And then eat the sandwich there, and then some point after that, I'd probably eat a bar a half a bar or a bar, and then maybe a couple gummies, or not even that. But.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking, I was like, I sometimes eat the sandwich and a bar.
I've rarely done that. And if I didn't have a sandwich, I could do one of those fresh shake things. The tuna meals are great.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that seems like it about rounds it out.
I wanna say mine again. I'm gonna change it. I've got 2 gels, 1 pack of gummies. I've got my tuna and a tortilla. I'm going to go with that one. And a bar. So that's 5 things. I think that would get me through a 6-hour day.
Yeah.
And I think I would either A, consume all of it, or B, maybe 1 less gel. But I think I would probably consume all of it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there's a chance I wouldn't touch the gummies. But there's also a chance. I mean, it depends what the ride's like and, all that stuff.
We're doing an ideal world right now.
Yeah.
We're planning our meals for this weekend.
Yeah. And then for me, for regular riding, I don't put anything in my water.
Yeah.
Like I usually have a couple packages of salts just in case, but I don't mix it in.
You just put them in your pack.
Yeah.
Which have been great for people when we've taken on rides that they start cramping.
Yeah, the LMNT element. Little salt packs. And then, from there, I think, because that kind of wraps up, you got anything else on the 5 categories?
Nope.
Okay. From there, I would encourage everyone to play with their food, and that would include doing rides without fueling.
Don't do that.
Not long ones. I'm talking about maybe within the 2-hour range. Like if you're going on a 2-hour ride, you really...
If you have the opportunity to play with it, play with it.
Don't do it on like a race day or a trail ride with friends day. Do it, or maybe a trail ride with friends. What I'm saying is find your limits out a little bit. I know for me, if I were to go on a 2-hour hammer ride with some friends, I'm not going to eat. There's no time, and I don't need it in 2 hours. Now you start crossing that 2-hour boundary, you're absolutely going to need to start supplementing, especially with super high intensity, supplementing with salts, supplementing electrolytes, and some fast acting carbs. Because again, you're not going to want to eat a sandwich halfway through that ride. That would be gels, gummies, stuff like that works well with your digestion. At an hour, you don't need to eat. At 30 minutes, you don't need to eat. You probably don't even need to drink.
Well, I know that.
Right. So what I'm getting at is like these things are dependent on individual. And then if you are potentially trying to look at how your body burns fuel for energy while you're doing this, you could do some... If you eat carbs, your body's going to want to burn carbs. Right? Because it's readily available. So if you are trying to, and this would be like... more like away from your season or become more fat adapted so you can just go longer without eating kind of thing, then you would want to manipulate the intake of food away from sugary gels, gummies, stuff like that, have more of a higher fat content, and then do these things without having sugars first thing before you go out for activity. So fasted potentially if it was in the morning, or not starting off your ride shooting a gel and going out on the trail, right? Because you're already biasing towards something. So just some thoughts. I would say stuff to play with, and I don't know.
I am so curious on what others. Somebody out there has probably got some really cool trail snacks.
Yeah.
That are not Natty Lights. I was going to say that I spaced it.
Yeah, we didn't even have beer on here at all.
I wanted you to say, what's your favorite trail snack? And I was going to go Natty Light. There's going to be some good ones.
What about White Claw? That's got to be in there.
White Claws?
Nowadays.
Gross.
Gluten-free.
I was just quick thinking if I've seen anything that I was like, what is that? Yeah, if you have some really unique trail snacks, please let us know. Find us on Instagram. I want to know. I'm dying. Because Master Chef over here
needs some new ideas.
I do know Kaylin from Dirtastic likes to do the French toast situation with the sandwich. However, to me, that's a little too much work. I don't know. French toast that's too many steps compared to slapping some meat on in between some bread.
Yeah,
or grabbing a tuna and a tortilla.
I need to be able to do this in like 3 minutes, or it's just not going to happen.
But if you've got some cool trailside snacks, caviar, whatever, we want to hear about it. And then I do want to add that I just put water in my pack as well. When I was on the grit ride, which were really, really long days, I did put the element salts in there. But usually, so if I know if I'm going on a really long ride, then I might sneak some in or at least bring some with me. I think I have some in my pack always for the cramp saving situations. But yeah, otherwise it's just water.
Yep.
All right, there you have it. Josh and Dane's favorite trail snacks.
All right.
I think a trail snack is actually a snail.
Maybe. I heard track snacks the other weekend.
I did.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What's a track snack?
Hot chick on the track.
Hot cuties walking around.
Hilarious. All right. Look at, we did this in 30 minutes.
Easy.
Good job. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Enduro Method podcast. Enjoyed our tips on trail snacks, snails. And if you would like to give us a 5-star rating, go ahead and do so. That'd be great.
Again, any rating that you would like to give.
You gotta push the 5.
Hey.
You gotta push it.
Well.
And really, though, find us on Instagram and the social medias. You can find us at enduromethod.com. There's a little pre-roll in the beginning that you get 50% off your first month for our podcast listeners. So make sure to check that out. Listen, you can skip it or do whatever you want. But if you made it this far, maybe you listened to it, maybe you didn't. It's also in the show notes. So all that information is there. Maybe I'll get some tuna links and put them in the show notes. 50-50 chance. Alrighty.
All right.
We'll catch you next time. Bye.